Peace, family. Lions here with another news and commentary. Willie D just had a press conference explaining what happened to his YouTube channel after being censored and of racism. Now Willie D will explain that his YouTube Willie D Live is back on track, and his attorneys will speak along with him explaining what went down. So I'm going to go ahead and play this press conference, and I'm going to give you the rest of my commentary.
On July 26, 2018, as many of you may well know, Mr. Dennis's YouTube account was wrongfully terminated by members of the YouTube teams and Google. Preceding the termination of his YouTube channel, Mr. Dennis was an avid YouTube creator. He created and uploaded video content to his YouTube channel, Willie D Live, on a regular basis. YouTube notified Mr. Dennis that his YouTube account had been terminated as a result of receiving his third community guideline strike within a 3-month period. Following YouTube's notification, Mr. Dennis's account was terminated and rendered permanently inaccessible. Mr. Dennis subsequently appealed YouTube's decision, and Mr. Dennis's appeal, unfortunately and wrongfully, was denied. Mr. Dennis believes YouTube unfairly and unjustly determined that his video content violated community guidelines, namely YouTube's hate speech policy and spam policy. Let it be clear, Mr. Dennis vehemently denies promoting violence against or inciting hatred against any individuals or groups based on race, religion, ethnic origin, national origin, gender, disability, sexual orientation, or gender identity on his YouTube channel. In fact, Mr. Dennis exemplifies the exact opposite of hate and prides himself on being a voice of the people, by the people, and for the people. Especially for those who do not have the platform to vocalize their discontent with censorship, discrimination, injustice, and bigotry. Is he a voice of dissent? Yes. Is he a voice for public change, political change? Yes. Is he a voice for social change? Yes. Is he a voice for hate? Absolutely not. He is also a voice for a countless number of other black YouTubers who have been victimized by YouTube and Google's action to restrict access to their material and content in bad faith, in a discriminatory manner, in breach of agreement, and against good faith and fair dealing. In addition, YouTube's negligence and interference with business relationships should not go unchecked. As stated in YouTube's hate speech policy, it is, and I quote, okay to criticize speech that is racism and hate speech, in which Mr. Dennis did in the Maxine Waters video. And not all speech that can be perceived as mean or insulting is hate speech, which may include anti-establishment rhetoric. In America, there is a such thing as free speech. Mr. Dennis believes YouTube is violating its own policy and not adhering to the terms of service and community guidelines by falsely and wrongfully labeling his video content hate speech. Mr. Dennis strongly feels he is being discriminated against based on his race and his social and political speech, and that such censorship should not be permitted under the law. YouTube clearly and demonstrably censors political and social postings and targets liberal and black YouTube channels and storefronts. As a result, Mr. Dennis is calling for a change in legal policy and is calling for Congress to regard YouTube and websites like it places of public accommodation, such that civil rights laws apply to them. Mr. Dennis is demanding a sit-down with Google and YouTube executives to right the wrongful termination of his YouTube channel and compensate him for his financial loss and monetary damages. If YouTube refuses to do so, Mr. Dennis is prepared to move forward with a civil lawsuit against Google and YouTube. At this time, I would like to call community activist Mr. Derek Muhammad to the podium to make a statement.
Thank you, my brother. Peace and blessings, family. I stand here in defense of our brother Willie D and all other black YouTube content providers, and not just black content providers, but those content providers who are not afraid to put out there and post unadulterated truth. There's a saying that says that he who controls the diameter of your thinking also controls the circumference of your activity. When we look at our youth and we see that which we could perceive to be ignorant activity, it is only because they consumed ignorant information. So the oppressed in this country have always had a hard time producing strong voices in the media. Because when you step out as a strong voice for your community, it's only a matter of time before you are attacked. To speak for the least, the last, and the lost, and the oppressed in this country is a risk. And our brother Willie D is one of many who's taken that risk through the content that he puts out on his YouTube channels and all of the other media platforms that he has authority over. The word that we have to use here that would be most appropriate is censorship. It's censorship. And for many years, we complained about ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News, and all of these other national platforms who we believe was given to us censored information. Well, guess what? We now live in a day and time where platforms like YouTube are becoming just as guilty, and we know it. So, as a community, we stand behind Willie D, and we say, give this man and other black YouTubers free reign to give us unadulterated truth, because that's the only thing that's going to make our activity better in our community. So no censorship. And the other thing I want to say is, how can you, from a cultural standpoint, YouTube, make a fair and unbiased judgment about the content put out by black YouTubers for the black community when you yourself have a dearth of black talent in your employee pool in the first place? Your diversity, which if we were to put it over here, and if we were to put your user base over here, we believe that black people who subscribe to YouTube channels deserve better, we deserve more. So again, on behalf of our community, we stand behind Willie D Live and all other black YouTubers, and the message to other black YouTubers, just as Willie D is taking a stand, take a stand. And if you don't have the testicular fortitude to do it on your own, just simply share this video and get behind the brother who's standing up for you. In this country, we have a real concern about this becoming a police state. But before they're able to control you in the streets, they have to control the information that is fed to you through platforms like YouTube. When they can no longer fool you, they can no longer rule you. And when you shut down channels like Willie D Live, then that's just another way that you try to fool us by controlling the information that comes into our communities. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. At this time, we want to bring before you Brother Willie D. He needs no introduction.
Thank you, Derek. First off, I want to thank everybody for coming out under these adverse weather conditions. I want to thank my brothers for standing with me right here. They've always stood with me. Derek Muhammad, Bonnie Jones, soldiers in the war for free speech, freedom of expression. YouTube, like Google, prides themselves off of free speech, allowing people to speak freely about issues that concern them. However, when you look at their practices are contrary to what their so-called mission statement is. Right. I want Google to know, YouTube to know, and all of those other platforms out there to know that truth is not hate speech. It's important to know that I'm not standing by myself, and this is a lot of other YouTubers who are having the same problem with Google and YouTube. It's no secret that they're being targeted. YouTube's discriminatory practices have not just made me a victim, but it's made countless victims who don't really have the voice that I have. And I'm going to speak for them right now. And so allow me to put this in this precise context. There are dozens of other black content providers on YouTube that has been harassed by YouTube with multiple strikes against their accounts, with many being terminated for simply reporting the news truthfully without a hidden agenda. Many of those channels are informative and promotes an objective to uplift the black community. Yet, they are constant targets of YouTube's biased, unethical mistreatment, which any reasonable person could only surmise is an attempt to control their message or run them off the platform. I first received a strike against Willie D Live from YouTube's violation community on April 17, 2017. The problem with their assessment is that the video I posted was a national news story shared by thousands of other YouTube subscribers and content providers, including Fox News, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, and others. So what's the difference? YouTube has allowed and continues to allow a number of non-black YouTubers to share hate speech and to get away with posting videos of murder, blood, pornography, and other despicable acts, none which can be found on Willie D Live. But they're allowed to keep their channels and mine gets terminated. Why would YouTube do that? It's simple. Racism, America's Achilles heel. YouTube claims to encourage freedom of speech and defend everyone's right to express their point of view, even if unpopular. But the truth is, Google owns YouTube, and with only 2.5% of their workforce being black, YouTube's employment diversity is disproportionate to its user base. So not only do we well-meaning content providers have to worry about being false flagged by trolls, but black content providers in particular, such as myself, are at a high risk of being targeted by employees who may not agree with our message because they don't share our unique experience in America. The vast majority of YouTube videos are uploaded by content providers. So I say to YouTube and Google, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Truth is not hate speech. Thank you.
At this time, we want to open up the floor for any questions that you may have at this time.
Okay, guys, now you saw the press conference. Willie D is one of the biggest examples on why black YouTubers need to stay strong. Now you got now Google is now facing pressure because you remember I told you before that if YouTube continues the attack on black YouTubers, I guarantee you some of us is going to go to Black Junction TV, and they don't want to lose black YouTube subscribers or black YouTubers, period. Now, I'm glad that Willie D is back. I'm glad that what he's doing is preaching the truth right now. Because at the end of the day, it shows that we as black YouTubers need to come together, stay strong, and back each other up. Now, Willie D is like I told you, he is my hero. I told you before, I watch his videos. I become a big fan of the Ghetto Boys because of Willie D. and he is staying strong with this. Like myself, Phil from the Advised Show, Lisa Cabrera, True Royal Family, Information Man, all of us are coming together and face and say, listen, this is what's really happening. And then if we are under attack, we got a lot of we got a lot of backup context as well. So it shows, ladies and gentlemen, that we as a society have to understand that people like Willie D is speaking for the people of the community that can't speak for themselves. So him, myself, Information Man, Lisa Cabrera, all of black YouTubers are now need to stand strong, not only in support of each other, but in support of Willie D and what he brings to this content. Now, don't be surprised that we're gonna be attacked as well for speaking out. But again, YouTube do not want that heat, because at the end of the day, if YouTube try to do what they did with Willie D to us, then we have no choice but to go to Black Junction TV or Black Spot TV for our content. And they don't want to, like I said, they do not want to lose us. They do not want to lose our black YouTube subscribers, let alone losing black YouTubers as like myself. So in conclusion to this press conference, I'm glad that Willie D's channel's back on. I'm glad that his attorneys spoke for him and telling him the truth of what happened with YouTube and Google. And again, if it happens again, I'm glad what Willie D has done. If Willie D, like the attorney says, if YouTube doing this again, it will be a lawsuit against Google, plain and simple, because Google owns YouTube. So you know that this is about to go down. So I'm happy that Willie D's back, and I hope that we as black YouTubers continue our content truthfully, and not let, if they shut us down, we got backup YouTube handles to continue the content with, because that's what we need. We need people like Willie D and others, and myself included, to continue preaching the truth and continue our content. Period. Well, tell me what you think about this video. Share this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my reaction channel. And subscribe to my Black Junction channel for more news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.